Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Let's Heal with Beth Jones. I am super excited about this recording for a few reasons. I am recording this from my in-home studio, which is what you're seeing here. It's an absolutely beautiful day in Texas, and we are getting to see that from the room that we're in. And I am here with my good friend, Amy Deanne. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Would you please be so kind as to tell everyone who you are? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name is Amy Stark-Faust. I am going by Amy Deanne because I decided, what is in a name anyway? Dropping the last names. I wrote in the book Shine Your Light after learning about that series from Beth. And currently I am in corporate America, but I am also writing my own book, following in Beth's footsteps as well.
We'll talk about that.
All right.
We will. I like where you started, though, the dropping the last name, because as I fought really hard to drop a last name and take back my maiden name, the name I came into this world with, following that same liberating path by being out there as Amy Deanne now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I like it. All right, so we're going to talk about your healing journey and the work that you are doing now. We're probably going to leave the corporate part of you to the side unless there's something that you want to talk about or say about that.
No, I'm good.
Okay, me either. I left that behind.
Right.
We're good now, and so I don't talk much about it either anymore. Although it is a huge part of who we are, and it might come up a little bit as you talk about what you're doing now. So your healing journey began when?
Only after getting a divorce.
How long ago was that?
I have been divorced for 5 years, almost. I was married for almost 29 years. So it was a really long time. And I didn't think I needed the healing until I was faced with myself alone by myself in an apartment, realizing that I did need to heal.
What do you mean by that? You didn't think that you needed to heal?
I was just going through the motions of living life, just going from one thing to the other. I was content, probably on the surface level, content, but not really content, not really honing in on what I was passionate about, not really doing the things that I wanted to do. I lived vicariously through my kids, which was wonderful. It was awesome. And the kids were awesome, but I was their mom. I was someone else's wife. I wasn't my own person.
So not living as the person who you are, the person who you were born to be, not living as Amy Deanne. And it's interesting you say that, living vicariously through your children. And so everything about your life was work at the corporate job and then your kids?
That was it.
Pretty much.
That was pretty much it.
For all those 29 years?
For a good portion of them. I got married when I was 19 and I was 20 years old when I had my daughter. So I was still really young. I didn't know who I was, didn't have a clue, but I quickly became someone's mom and I enjoyed that role. I did love being a mom. I loved doing the things. I never missed a track meet, a wrestling match, a softball tournament. I made sure that I was present at everything and was there for my kids, but that left pretty much nothing for me.
Were you even aware of that during those years?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
just became your norm.
That was the norm. You just go tournament, pick them up from school, feed them, do this, do that. That was just the normal life. And I loved it. I did enjoy it, but it was different.
I think that is more common than any of us really want to admit, because that's my same experience. So I call it being a busyholic in chronic chaos. And that was my work, which could be very busy and chaotic. But then I also had this crazy busy personal life.
Right.
And all it did was just distract me for many years from me.
Yes.
I just ran away from me through all of that. And I think it's really quite common. In fact, as I talk about that more and more, I have people saying to me, oh yeah, I do that too. And I think we see it as, this is the norm of life. This is just what you do. You grow up, you get married, you may or may not have kids, but you have a life as an adult. And for those of us who are survivors in various capacities, it's really an easy way to escape from the reality of what's inside of us, what we're
Absolutely.
holding inside of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, your childhood growing up before you got married, tell me a little bit about that.
It was quite interesting. I changed schools 11 times between living with my parents that I was born to initially and moving back and forth with my grandmother, my father, my mother once they split up. I moved a lot, moved around a lot. I didn't really make a lot of friends because I wasn't going to be there for long. I didn't know that at the time, but I didn't really settle in anywhere. My mother left my dad after being abused for about 10 years. So I was about 10 when she left him. And so life was definitely no bed of roses for her either.
So, your experience as a child, you were carrying things, well, when you became an adult, once you got to adulthood, do you think you were carrying pain from your childhood inside of you already
Oh, absolutely.
from all those experiences? And really, a lot of that being, I think, alone and lonely is what you might be describing.
It was very lonely.
Did you have a best friend growing up?
Not really.
No?
Here and there, I had one, and then they moved away, or I had one in high school once I started my sophomore year back in Houston. But other than that, I really did not have a true closeness with anyone
Until when?
until I became an adult. And
And
actually, far into adulthood, when my kids were actually probably living here and meeting someone and connecting with them because our kids were together or because they played sports together. And then those people becoming my best of friends, becoming the people I could rely on the most, becoming the person that would listen to every single thing that I had to say. That was just, it was not until much later.
we've talked about this before, but I think some of those people who became your best friends, once you moved on with your life, your kids were out of the house and you got divorced, those relationships might have changed.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Not too much. I did lose a couple of friends along the way, of
Mm.
course, throughout divorce, but for the most part, I didn't. And one in particular was my cousin. And we grew up together very young, but then I never saw her for years and years. And so I did not reconnect with her until I was in my troubled years of being married. And so she went through a divorce when I did. And in fact, our divorces were final a month apart. And she also became probably my closest confidant, my closest person to go to, my person that will also tell me, you're being ridiculous. So I can really rely on her for honest feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, which is great. It's great to have people like that in your life.
Yes.
It always strikes me every time I have a conversation with you about this, about how similar our lives really are, including, which I should tell the audience, we actually worked together for a number of years at the same company. I've been around for a very long time. You've been around for a very long time. So
Going on 20 years there.
yeah, and I was almost 20 years with the firm, although not all the time in the same office, but yeah, the same place. So we have known each other for quite a while, although become friends really in more recent years as our lives have taken this turn
Yes.
away from that world that it's going for both of us now. But when you just talk about being alone and lonely and then having people in your life who were dear to you and then you lose connection with them and then you reconnect with them, that's my story.
Yeah.
My exact, which again, I think it's another thing that's very common for us, and just part of it is just living life. And I think that's how many of us see it, just like creating that crazy busy, this is just what I need to do because I got to run here for
Right.
whatever reason it is. That becomes our norm. And this idea of just losing connection with people, no matter how significant they are to you in your life, it's so easy to lose that connection when in fact both of those things are terrible for us.
Right. It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
we all have stories like that. And so it's a huge honor for me to be part of that journey for you and to inspire that, because I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? That's what we're all doing. It's that, now that is going to make me cry. It's that ripple effect that we have of the good that comes from what our experiences have been, right? So it's really cool. It's cool to experience that individually, and it's cool when you're part of someone else's. And so someday somebody's going to say that to you. Maybe they already have. If not, someday somebody is going to say that to you. Right? You'll be that spark for them to pass their story on to, which is beautiful. And I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of of where you are now, the work you've already done, and what I do. So tell the audience how they can find you now and get in line for the pre-sale on the book.
My website is my-resilient-journey.com. And there'll be an author page and a pre-sale page up there coming very soon.
All right. And I will definitely link that page in the show notes. And where can they find you on social media?
It's Amy Deanne, and you can blame my mother in the 60s and 70s, AMEYDEANNE on Facebook and on Instagram, and then Resilient TX because we are here in Texas on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, and I will also link those in the show notes for you. So this has been delightful. We should have done it a lot sooner.
I know.
We're going to do it again.
Absolutely.
I know we are. So give me a hug. Ah, I love you. I love you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here with us today. And I hope you have enjoyed the episode. We've talked about a lot of really great things today, and it's just been fun and in a great setting. And as I always tell you, come on, everyone, let's heal.